Hi everyone, just want to welcome you into Todd and Marilena's house. Today I want to just share with you some things about a huge miracle that have happened in some lives. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because Mother's Day is obviously in the month of May, and we just want to give glory to God for what He has done. Pastor Todd and Marilena and their family have been a part of our lives, and they're dear, dear friends, and we're so thankful for what God has done. And we met them in 2010. It's been a really, really wonderful journey with them. But today I want to ask them some questions. So you're going to hear from them and hear their story about what God has done. And just enjoy that you've been married and then started thinking we were going to have kids.
We've been married for 13 years. That we've been praying to have babies for the last 10 years.
So when did you realize that you needed to think, okay, maybe we need to change strategies, maybe we need to consider adoption? When did that happen for you?
Well, we had tried different things, and around, I think, 2011, God opened the door for us to begin the adoption process here in Panama.
Was that a hard decision to make on your part?
Yes, it was actually. There were times that we thought we were pregnant, but then it wasn't like that. So there was a time that we actually took a time, my husband and I, to go just away from everything in the city, away from any communication. We just had like about 3 days retreat, the two of us. And that was a time to mourn the fact that we had not been able to have any child or children. And at that point we really started to pray to God, like, well, Lord, do you want us to go this way of adoption? So at that moment we decided that we were just going to formally apply here in Panama to adopt a child. And the process was hard and long, 9 years to come up with that decision. So yeah.
That's an interesting journey. Not everybody comes to that peace and that conclusion that, okay, Lord, I'm going to follow this particular pattern. How did you deal with the disappointment, or did you feel after the retreat that the disappointment was gone?
Well, for me, I think the disappointment was still there, but I began to really seek the Lord as to looking beyond just Marilena and I having children, just wanting children for ourselves, and really looking toward how can we reach out to try to help children. And just began to, and it wasn't something that was naturally in my heart. It was something that God began to expand, and God began to give me a heart for.
So that's interesting that the Lord, helped you see that there's another way. He maybe had another plan, even though you didn't have a promise per se that He was still going to give you children. Did you sense that something was going to happen?
At that point, we had hope. Like, I felt peace that if we will go through adoption, we actually even had thought that even if we have biological kids, we still wanted to adopt at some point. So every month still is hard, and it was still hard. But thinking of adoption and knowing that it was kind of like being pregnant from our hearts, and not knowing how long it would take, but that's how I felt, that we were
Being so vulnerable, because it is a challenge, and I'm sure many people who will see this video will know that challenge and have experienced either loss of children or not. So what happened after that? You had those days of retreat, you said, Lord, I give this to you, we're going to go for adoption, and so then what happened?
Well, we began the actual process of adoption. We started to hear lots of stories that it would take 3 to 5 years or even longer. Kind of like, this is going to take a long time, and then it didn't seem like it would. It was a reality that maybe it would never really happen. But during that time, just continue to have to learn how to trust God through that aspect of it.
Then what happened?
Well, then in December 2011, I have a niece. So we were very, very excited because to be able to pour our lives into her. And she was 11. So we say yes to that. And to us, that was like that first gift.
Yeah, the first blessing.
With this, God gave us this lady, this young lady to take care of. And I call her my niester. I say she's between my niece and my daughter, so I call her my niester. And it has been great. Then, in November of last year, of 2012, we were just on a normal Sunday morning. We just went to church, a normal church, and we did see this young lady. She's a Kuna Indian lady, and she had a newborn baby with her. We didn't think anything about it. But at the end of the service, one of the brothers, that is also a Kuna brother, came to me and said, "Hey, Pastor Marilena, we have a baby for you."
And you're like,
I was like, "What?"
There's a mother here that wants to give you her baby.
And then I was like, "What do you mean a baby?" I didn't think anything. She's like, "That baby that is over there with that young lady, she wants to give her baby to you." And then I told my husband about that, and I don't know how you felt that moment.
Well, at that moment I felt nervous and anxious and
excited
all at once, but very,
and almost, can it be real?
yeah,
Can this baby really truly be ours?
exactly.
So we asked her about the baby, and she said the baby didn't have even a name. And at that time, we made a lot of phone calls with our lawyer and with a family judge and everything, because we wanted to make sure that this will not affect our adoption process. We got the green light coming from a judge here in Panama that she said, "Okay, take the baby with you for a couple of months to see if the mother really wants to give out her baby to you." And even at that night, we told the biological mother, "Take the baby with you,
Yeah.
and the
We didn't
next
take the baby
day
the first day.
we'll take you to register because
But
he
we
didn't
told
even
her,
have a
think
name."
about it, make sure you really think it over.
So we came to bed that night. Actually, that was our first.
Sleepless night. You lay awake wondering, well, should we do this, shouldn't we do this? And it's one of those situations where you feel like if you do it, you know that you're taking a huge risk. There's no question about it, because she could take him back at any moment. But if you don't do it, you always wonder, what if we had? And you would regret that. And so you feel like, okay, Lord, you're presenting us an opportunity here. You tell us in your word to take care of the fatherless and the widows. And why is this happening? You know, we feel like it's a risk to take, but yet at the same time it seems providential that this would happen this way.
Your gift.
So yeah, so that night we came to prepare to just have our home ready for a 1-month-old baby that we did not know anything about, and without any experience of having a baby. So the next day we actually named him Lucas, which means bringer of light. Brought a lot of light into our lives.
God didn't want to finish yet. He had another plan to start. So what happened next?
So that was we had Lucas in November of 2012. We were happy that we had Danielle, and then we had Lucas. So we had a family, you know. We have a little girl and a little boy. Yeah.
Already blessed beyond what we thought.
Absolutely. At that point, in January, we got a call at the end of January, and it was the adoption agency saying, "Hello, Mrs. Tillinghast. I'm calling to let you know that we have already assigned a child for you." I was like, "Okay." It's a 5-year-old boy. His name is Juan Diego, and she gave me all this information. I'm like, excited because this is the baby, or this is the kid that we have been waiting for 2 years now. And at the same time, I told him, he kind of knew I was talking to the adoption agency. He was like,
No.
We're fine
To be
already."
completely honest with you, my first reaction was, no, we can't do it. Tell them no. We're not ready. You know?
But at this point, I knew in my heart that that child needed to be our child, because
It's abandoned as a family, and when you adopt new children, certainly from a standpoint of bringing them into an orphanage, there's a lot of adjustment and a lot of, and it's a wonderful blessing, but it's also a great challenge. And so, you know, but that's all part of the blessing, the learning process, and things that God does in your life as a result of stretching you and stretching, helping you deal with your flesh and everything else. And so it's really, it's all part of the process.
So it's not only an answer to prayer, but all of a sudden now you as a couple, your lives have changed drastically.
Oh, completely.
No sleeping at times, and just the challenge, like you said, of helping Juan Diego, and then also Danny Bell getting used to the family dynamic again in another way. And so how has God allowed that to come together as a family, 3 different entities now as one?
Yeah, it's been challenging. It's been quite a journey, but we have seen God's faithfulness. We're stressed and there's chaos in the house because we have a baby, then we have a 5-year-old, then we have a teenager. Yeah. You can imagine all the craziness. But at the same time, like for me personally, I have seen this as a growth process as a person, now as a mother in this new role. God has been faithful. How to deal with a teenager, how to deal with a 5-year-old boy, with a baby, and what to do in order for us to be their parents for them. And it has been challenging, but it has been a great blessing. And in Panama we have a saying, you wanted to be a queen, now blow kisses, you know. It's a great blessing, but with great responsibility.
Well, thank you for sharing your story and really being honest with us, because that's what we need to hear. We need to hear what God's done through the struggle and through the good. So we thank you for joining us today. I just want to say that part of this journey is to have the message of never give up. It was 10 years, but don't give up. Because you don't know what God's got in store. You don't know the miracle that He has for you. So don't give up. God bless.